Hey guys, how's it going? Hope things are great with you. So I was going through my comments and I saw a user Starfire12, Starfire12 wanted to have my thoughts when a conjunction of the Sun and Ketu in the sign of Kanya. So what are my thoughts about? So it's a quick video. I thought, just to share my views on that. So let's talk about the Virgo first. Let's talk about Kanya. Right? Virgo or the Virgin is a very, very potent Rasi. Kanya is a very potent Rasi. Now, many may not know this, so this can be news. And for those Vedic astrology enthusiasts, this video may create some kind of excitement. Now, the Kanya or the Virgin is also called as Mahamaya. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Now, a little bit about spiritual essence of this. The sixth natural house, which is the Kanya, is that it contains all the six primeval or the primordial energy. Okay, what are those six? Now it starts with Parashakti. Shakti means power, which is why we always look at Shakti as Goddess Durga. The personification of power itself, Goddess Shakti. Okay, so Parashakti is the first out of six. Parashakti is the universal. Parashakti also means heat and light, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, heat and light. That is the very core of power, energy itself. Okay. Second will be Jnana Sakti, the power of thoughts. By using our thoughts, we can get things done. Okay, this is just not normal thoughts. It's the thoughts where sometimes we could use for telepathy, clairvoyance, and those sort of things. The usual thought process is for us to decode or decipher our sensory perceptions, our indriyas, right? The touch, smell, taste, vision, and hearing, and all that. That's the usual thing that we use, maybe to acquire certain things. But thoughts can be also used for other things. Okay, I do not want to go deep into it, but just to understand that one of the six is the Jnana Shakti, our ability to use our thoughts, our intellect to gain knowledge, supreme knowledge, and things like that. Okay. The third would be Ichcha Sakti. Ichcha Sakti is to set things in motion, kinetic energy, basically. The natural impulse for a person to get things done. Okay, very important. You can think about Ichcha Sakti as Mars. Okay, something which is movable, something to get things done. Okay. The fourth would be, the fourth would be Kriya Sakti. The Kriya Sakti is part of the Jnana Sakti, is part of the thought power, but it's more on the mysterious side. It's just not used for clairvoyance or your ability to gain supreme knowledge or to have super senses. It's just not that. But you can use Kriya to control your thoughts, to travel to other dimensions, other worlds. Right? You can go back to the past, you can travel to the future, and all these things can be done with the power of Kriya. I'm not a Kriya practitioner, and if you're interested, you can always check about Kriya Shakti. All right, that is one of the six. That's the fourth, right? Now the fifth would be Kundalini Shakti. Kundalini Shakti, probably would have heard this word before. A Kundalini Shakti is basically a commonality which exists, and I'm trying to put it in my own words here. You see, so it's a common attribute, a common attribute which exists in all life forms and non-life forms, both animate and inanimate, everything, right? In the entire universe, which includes, if there's any aliens, out there, whatever, it includes them as well, right? There is a common factor in everything. There is say for example, you and the blade of grass on the ground has something in commonality. Now, the scientific community also agrees with this, but not from a metaphysical perspective, obviously. They are sort of not so tolerant to metaphysics, but their point of view is that yes, there is a common attribute, there's a common factor between all living and non-living things. That, of course, that language is mathematics. So if you're like me who loves maths, then you can do a search for golden ratio. It's a very, very interesting concept. So that's the fifth. And the last is, of course, Mantra Shakti. Mantra Shakti is something that we do it very commonly, is our recitation of mantra. Now, it's apparent that if you recite the mantras in a grammatically correct and also with the right intonation, the ups and downs of it, you will be in the process of manifesting something. Something will happen. Right? I'm just going to give you an example which I thought about it right now. Say if it's a dark room, pitch dark, there's not really nothing there. It's totally dark, all right, in the absence of light. Now there's a keyhole there, and you shoot a beam of light, and the light goes through and hits the wall of the dark room. So one spot will be lit up, correct? Now, what happens if you put a prism? You know what's a prism, right? So if you put a prism between the beam of light and the keyhole, what happens is now the room, which is currently having one spot on the wall, is now illuminated with all the 7 colors, basically the rainbow colors of the rainbow. Now, if you play a particular raga, raga is a musical scale in the Indian system, but quite similar to the Western scale. So if you play a particular scale, for example, if you play again and again repetitively, what happens is the resonance of that sound, the frequencies would sort of intercept with the existing light and comes into a merge. There's a communion going on there, right? It merges into one color. A different scale produce a different color. So the entire room from the 7 colors of the rainbow will become one particular color, like a green or red or something, depending on the tune that you're playing repetitively again and again and again. Now, same concept, if you use it for the mantras, same thing. You're reciting the same thing again and again, which is why you have the 108 times, 1008 times, and so on. Okay, you are in the process of sort of manifesting something, right? By saying something, it connects to the chakras of our body, and it sort of evokes certain things within us. Okay, Mantra Shakti. Those are the 6 primeval or primordial sounds, energies. Okay, now Mahamaya is the 7th one, which is the one that encapsulates everything, and the 6th natural house, which is Virgo Kanya, is that Mahamaya. So you can imagine how powerful that house is, that zodiac sign is, that Rasi is, right? So that's a little bit about the Virgo. So we talk about the Sun and Ketu. Now, Sun and Ketu proximity, right? Now, when they are, of course, astronomically, Ketu and Sun in alignment creates the eclipse, the south node, north node of the moon, Rahu and Ketu. Ketu doesn't fully, because it's part of the penumbra. Rahu is full because it's fully umbra. Of course, these are basic astronomical views that we have, okay? So Ketu and the Sun creates this partial eclipse, sort of, which is bad. The Sun is also called Prakash, namesake, right? It means the divine light, the light that gives you knowledge of the truth of the Brahman, right? Now, what happens if an eclipse happens? You are basically blocking that light, right? So you're devoid of that energy. So any eclipses, Sun, Rahu, Sun, Ketu, all these guys is inauspicious. Now, that 6th house, as I say, is a personification of Goddess Shakti herself, powerful. And you have an eclipse, like, blanket, like covering, right? It's like a veil, right? And that sort of diminishes the power of the 6th house. So this is not a good position to have. Basically, it's not a good position to have. And one needs to do a lot of remedies, actually, different types of remedies to ensure. But of course, mainly is to appease Surya Bhagavan, the sun god himself. What else can I talk about? So these are my thoughts about what happens when Sun Ketu goes to the sign of Virgo. I hope this is informative. Starfire 12. And yeah, that's about it. So take care, guys, and I'll hope to see you on a new video. Stay tuned. Namaste.